Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Munchkin. Now, this is the digital adaptation of the very popular card game. One that I used to own but sold off later on because, well, Munchkin is more of a multiplayer experience. You can't play solo mode in Munchkin, at least via the default rules. Munchkin is really meant to be played with 3 or more people, and I will just say this. It is a mean game. It's a really, really mean game. There's also a lot of randomness to this game. Now, before I go any further, it's worth mentioning that the core game is $15 on Steam. There is an Unnatural Acts expansion to the game, which includes over 100 new cards. That, I believe, is around $5. I received the press key for both the core game and this Unnatural Acts expansion, and I've played 2 or 3 games off camera. And again, I'm going to reiterate what I said here. It's a fairly mean game. Even with the difficulty on easy, there's easy, normal, and hard in terms of AI bots, it's still very challenging. Luckily, in terms of speed, you'll be able to, turn off turn timers so that you have as much time as you want to spend on your decisions. Although, if you're playing a multiplayer game with someone that takes forever to take their turn, you can set the timer to be a bit more strict. One thing I never seen before, there's actually the option to turn off cards that reference gender. There are some cards that reward males and some that reward females, some that penalize them. It's just all part of the game. But there's an option to make it gender neutral, which I'm not even going to touch with a 10-foot pole for reasons. I turned it on. I liked seeing the different cards that affect the different genders. But anyway, it's there if you want. You're going to pick an avatar, and off you go. And Munchkin is a game where you will start with a hand of cards, and you're essentially building a character like in an RPG. You're trying to get from level 1 to level 10. And when you reach level 10, you win the game. It's that simple. Well, kind of. You have, like I said, a hand of cards. Some of these cards will buff your character. Like sometimes you'll be able to equip boots, or you can hold 2 hands worth of weapons, and that will increase your strength. You've got a little red shield on the left side of your screen, and it tells you how strong you are. On your turn, you're going to kick open a door. And when you kick open this door, you'll face a random door card. Sometimes these door cards will feature a monster that is incredibly difficult, like say level 15, level 20. And if you lose to it, a lot of bad things will happen to you. Other cards, whenever you kick open a door, might include just regular cards that, that you get to keep. If you fight a monster, and whether you win or lose, that's it, your turn is over. If you don't fight the monster, you get to either, play a monster from your hand, or you get to loot the room, which is draw more cards. So that's the gameplay flow. You're going to be kicking open this door, hoping that you draw a monster that you can deal with. If you can't deal with it, you have to run away from it, or opt to run away from it, and roll a die and hope that you roll a 5 or a 6 in order to beat it. Now, the cool thing about Munchkin is that you can actually help other people, and likewise, they can help you. There's a lot of negotiating in Munchkin. And when I was playing with the AI bots, I asked for their help a couple of times. And they have this friendliness meter in the upper left, it's a little face. It starts off as a green face, very friendly. And the more bad things you do to them, the less likely they will help you. But they will add their attack strength to yours to help you with your combat. But the cool thing is that you can negotiate, I'll give you a card from my hand if you help me. Or I'll give you one of the 3 treasures that I would normally get for defeating this monster. That kind of thing. So there is a reason to help each other in this game, but in the end, there is only one winner. Yes, you can share victory in unique situations by reaching level 10 at the same time. For example, there's an elf race that you can equip to yourself. And anytime you help someone else, you get a +1 to your level. Well, if you help someone else and they reach level 10 and you're level 9 and you hit level 10 at the same time, then you can share the victory there. There's a lot of cool things like that in this game. Just cards that will just screw you over or help you out at the best possible second. Um, when an enemy is fighting, like whether you or an enemy is fighting a monster, you can actually help or hurt them with cards from your hand as well. There might be modifier cards in your hand, and these modifier cards might be like add +5. Well, you can add it to your friend, ally, whatever, the player going currently, or you can add it to the monster that they're currently fighting, and in doing so, make the enemy stronger so that they kill them. There's a lot of that there's a lot of backstabbery, a lot of deal breaking, a lot of deal making, a lot of cool stuff in this game. But like Munchkin as a whole is a fun social game, not one that I typically care to play, because again, it is extremely random. Like the one game I played, I drew all monster cards. I had no items equipped. I had no class, no race, and like my character was really weak, and I just had to hope I kept drawing low-level monsters so I can continue going up in level. Every time you beat a monster, you go up by 1 level. So, like, I had to hope that I could do that. And there's also cards that you draw that might be class-specific or race-specific. And if you sell 1,000 gold worth of cards, each card has, like, a gold value on it. You sell 1,000 gold worth of items, and you gain up a level that way. So, like, one strategy is, when you're level 7, play one card that just instantly grants you a level, then sell off 2,000 gold worth of items, and then boom, you win the game automatically, that kind of thing. Again, this game it's nail-biting, it's frustrating, but I think it's best played with friends whose feelings don't get hurt very easily. There are a couple of complaints that I do have with this digital adaptation. For one, there is no pass and play option. So in order for you to play with your friends, they have to own the game as well. And $15 for a game like this is a bit on the high side, especially for how quick these games tend to go. Other digital games on, Steam, like Gloomhaven and other ones, they're roughly priced around $15-20, and games last for a lot longer than that. This game is very quick. It can be very quick, especially when one person really just runs away with everything. But anyway, no pass and play option, which is kind of unfortunate. I was hoping to, try this game out with my friends and my fiance, but I got one press key and I'm like, well, I guess I'll play with bots. There are people online that you can play it with, but I don't play with randoms for reasons. So again, it's just unfortunate that there's no way to pass and play this. There's no local Steam remote play or local multiplayer. It's a missed opportunity, I think. There's also no way to slow down the interface. I will admit, I don't play Munchkin a lot. I sold my copy a long time ago. And I played 2 or 3 games with the computer off camera before recording this. And I was lost because the UI goes so fast and there's no way to slow it down. The AI is drawing all these cards and I get to read them for half a second. I catch the name of the card and maybe the first couple words, and then it disappears. Yeah, there's a log in the upper right-hand corner that you can click on. Unfortunately, you can't mouse over any of the cards listed in that log to find out what they were. So, there's no way to slow down the interface. If the AI draws a card on their turn or whatever, you can't read it. It's impossible. I can't literally read the card. It just goes by too quickly. And there's no way in the options menu to slow down the rate at which things happen, which kind of silly. So yeah, I wish there was a way to slow things down so as a newcomer to the game, I could read all the cards that are being presented to me. Another thing is the log. Being able to mouse over those cards in the log would be super helpful. Like little tooltip cards that tell me what they do. That would be nice as well, but the log is just a written text of what's happened. That's another, again, complaint. It's not so much of a complaint as of the digital version, but Munchkin has a lot of, shall we say, special situations where you've got this card interacting in this way, but then this card interacts this way, and then this character has this ability which kicks in, and then you're trying to figure out, okay, so wait, you go up one level, but then I lose a level, but then because you help me and you're an elf, then you get this level, but then I have this potion of something something. So I typically I would get 2 treasures, but you get 1. It's one of those things where like when a lot of cards are played at once, like there was an issue where, again, I'm a newcomer, so maybe this is normal for you folks, but the enemy was like level 9, and the other, like one of the AI was level 9. The other AI played a card on top of the monster they were fighting. The level 9 was fighting, so that they were facing a lot harder enemy than normal. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. And then they played this twin clone baby card, whatever. I couldn't read it because it went by so fast. And it doubled the strength of the new card. I think it was the mate card that just came out. Anyway, like, yeah, so like, I would like to know what's going on. You know, I want to know what's going on as a new player. But again, I can't read anything. So do I recommend this game? Yes and no. Like, I think Munchkin is a fun, casual game when played with the right people, whether it be tabletop or digital. However, I think the digital version needs some quality of life improvements to make it a bit more user-friendly. Like, if it weren't for the tutorial, I had no idea that I could click on my inventory bag in the bottom left and move cards around. I didn't know that I could click on the enemy and, you know, offer them cards. Like, had I not played the tutorial, I would not have known that I could do that in the interface. There's no way to distinguish between fluff in the interface and clickable icons in the interface, if that makes any sense. Things that I should be able to interact with. It's just, they sort of just blend in. I would like, you know, maybe some buttons off to the left that say trade with opponent, you know, sell items for gold. Instead of having to find these buttons in a menu somewhere where I have to click on, I have to find the button first, click on it, and now I can sell items. You know, I wish more things were on the surface of the interface rather than hidden behind these little icons that I didn't know I could click on in the first place. Little things like that. So I recommend Munchkin Digital on sale. I would wait for it to maybe be like 50% off, something like that. Keep in mind, it does not support local multiplayer. So again, that's another kind of nail in the coffin. I think the game would have been, yeah, I understand the business practices. You do that, Vince, and they won't make any money, then they can't support the game anymore. I totally understand that. But there are a lot of other digital board games out there that do have local multiplayer and pass and play options, and this one does not. So it's competition. You know, it's called, you know, competition. So why would I play something like this when I can play something that does offer these other things? That's my point. So anyway, Munchkin Digital, not bad, but if I were to buy it, I would have waited for a sale. All right, well, this is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Take care.